Hey there, Facebook. It is Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer, and head coach from Live, Love, Give. And today I have a message, and I want to make sure that, this message and this question that I really want to ask single people out there. I hope that if you're in a relationship, you still tune in because there's still a bunch of value here, no matter whether you are single, in a relationship, whatever your status is, it doesn't matter. There will definitely be some value that you can take away from this message, but it really is geared towards people right now who are absolutely single, and maybe you're in the game of dating. And I really think that this is an important message for all of you guys, because I am absolutely blown away by the amount of beautiful human beings who are not able to see their worth, and they have lowered their standards in terms of treatment in this kind of realm of relationship, because they're getting into scarcity mode. And I don't want to see any of us selling ourselves short. And when I say that, I'm not talking about selling ourselves short in terms of this person is better than this person, and this kind of hierarchy that way. I'm talking about the third entity that we're looking to create. If we want a truly extraordinary quality of relationship, then we definitely need to have high standards, and we need to be filtering out the people who aren't after that, And so really what I wanted to ask you guys is, I want to ask you, are you currently being blinded by the chase and missing the connection? And because I'm seeing so many people, and it's different for me right now because I'm currently single for the first time in a long time, and so I'm getting another angle and another perspective on what's kind of going on in this realm. And so I really think that this is a fascinating concept to think about, and it's super powerful for any of us who want an extraordinary quality of relationship, because the game can get us caught up. And, what we really need to do is not get so caught up in the game, because the game can create this excitement and this mystery, and we're kind of in this guessing game. We don't know, what they think about us or we think about them, or whatever the realm is. But ultimately, when we get caught up in the game, we can get so fascinated and excited by the mystery that we end up, getting attached to, this relationship going a certain way, when in actual fact, we might end up with somebody that we realize the connection's not that great, because we've been blinded and focused on the chase and the mystery and the excitement and the fun, as opposed to, well, hang on a minute, like, who is this person really? Like, how do I get to know who they are so that I can know whether this is worth my time or their time? But the game, the chase, is all about holding back and playing your cards to a certain right way. I don't know. I don't like it. I think that it completely wastes our time. I think that it creates a lot of confusion. And we've all heard the concept around, rejection breeds obsession. And I don't want any of us to get so caught up in the game and the chase and that feeling of like, well, are they really into me? Are they not into me? Which ultimately gets us caught up in that obsessive mode of what we're trying to kind of make this person or their attention a measurement of our worth, as opposed to focusing on the connection, focusing on what are my values, what do I want to create, what's my vision, and what's their values. I'm fascinated, I'm interested, I can't wait to learn more about them. And then we get to decide, where we want to go in terms of, is this a relationship that we want to move in that direction or not, and that's okay. But what I'm seeing so much of is this absolute game playing, which is absolutely getting us, headed in this direction of obsessing about potential attention or relationship with this human being who, if we didn't have that chase and if we didn't have that kind of excitement and mystery going on, we might actually realize, I don't really have that much in common with this person, or kind of not like a long-term strategy with this person. So it really comes down to, where are you and what do you want? And if you are lacking clarity in terms of the kind of relationship you want, the kind of partner that you want to have and you want to be, and you're lacking self-worth, wow, are you getting into a dangerous game? Because, this game playing is moving you towards short-term fantasy, over long-term fulfillment, happiness, depth, realness, authenticity, all of those beautiful things that we want to strive for, so don't get caught up in the attraction game, which can be played, attraction can be brought to love. You want to go for love, go for depth, go for realness, authenticity. That is way more exciting than the potential mystery of, what's this person about and do they like me and all this sort of stuff. And then we end up in potential relationship with them and then we're like, what was I thinking? So we don't want to blind ourselves, through the game playing, from what's really going on and from who that person really is and who you really are. If you can't have depth of conversation with somebody and you get beyond the game playing and like, oh, do I call them then or do I get there then, or like, I don't know. That stuff is just such a turn off in my books. And I'm hoping that it becomes, if some of you guys are caught up in that game playing, I hope that if you wake up to the fact that it's just a time waster, it's a confusion maker, and it gets you in a relationship that is short-lived and has no real depth. The sooner you go deep and you throw away the games, like the sooner you work out where you want to get to, whether this is right, don't waste your time, really just getting caught up in that mystery and getting into that feeling of like, oh, I don't feel like they may be that into me and like I really want them to be, and you make them and their attention a measurement of your worth, instead of developing yourself, growing yourself, having a brilliant relationship with yourself. When you can get to that place, you see right through games and you absolutely want to fascinate over the depth of another human being and you want to share who you really are, and you get beyond like, that whole chase. You can create much more excitement, realness, mystery, all of those beautiful, attractive things in a relationship where you can go deep with a person, as opposed to getting caught up in some pretense and some rule book as to how to play the game of relationship. Throw that out the window. That is such a time waster and a potential waster, and just, it defeats your own self-worth. Know your worth, raise your standards in terms of, how you want to be treated and how you want to treat others. If somebody is playing games with you and you're constantly questioning whether they're into you, whether they like you, all of this sort of stuff, stop yourself. Wake up. Don't go down that path. I'm a big believer that if somebody values me and really wants to move forward with me, I know about it, and when they don't, when they're just kind of like wishy-washy and lacking integrity, see you later. Not because I'm better or they're worse or anything like that, but just because, that might be your standard of relationship, and that might be where you are for a multitude of reasons. But you know what? I've got clarity over who I am. I've got clarity over my vision, where I want to go, and what quality of relationship I want. And that's just not cutting it. Like, I can't go deep with that. I can't learn about you. I can't see whether that's right or not or anything. And at the end of the day, like, I'm valuing myself, and my lovability and my worth is not reliant or dependent on the level of attention that you give me. And in actual fact, it is, totally self-sufficient, self-reliant in terms of coming up with that feeling of generating my self-worth and value. And I know who I am. I want to get to know who you are, and for the purposes of creating something extraordinary or not. but at least we have realness, at least we have authenticity, and that is way more attractive than any games to be played, particularly if you're looking at the long term, not just this short term fantasy. So, I'm absolutely hoping that today's message is resonating with you guys. I hope that if you're single, it will get you to wake up from that obsessive connection that that's obsessive, attraction that we're trying to hold on to, as opposed to going the depths of realness and connection and making that your new standard. Raise your standards to connection and depth, and if people can't meet you there, just move on. They'll either raise their standards if they're really interested in you. They'll raise their standards, which will allow you to see whether that can be moving forward, amazing, or they'll go and play the game with somebody else who has low self-worth and who is, in that realm, and good luck to them. But that doesn't have anything to do with you. And, you don't want to block the potentiality of attracting an extraordinary quality of human being who you can go the depths with by wasting your time in scarcity, thinking, well, they're in my life right now, so let's just see how this pans out until maybe somebody else comes into my life. No, you're wasting your time and energy. Have enough self-respect, self-honor, and belief in your ability to create something extraordinary. Then, have enough belief in that as opposed to selling yourself short in the short term. Okay, so I'm going to stop rambling on. I get really passionate about this because I do really see beautiful human beings who are diminishing their self-worth, and they get caught up in the chase and the game and second guessing, and it takes up their entire life when, that person's probably not even really thinking about them, and they're wasting all this time and energy and angst, trying to chase significance over love and depth and connection. So I hate seeing that. And I want all of you guys out there to absolutely, if you're not valuing yourself, be going on the journey of discovering who it is that you really are. When you know who you are and you discover who that is, and you start creating a vision of where you want to go, and you start moving in the direction, wow, your self-belief, your value, and, your ability to connect at deeper and deeper levels skyrockets. And that's what life is all about. It's not about selling yourself short. And if you guys out there are in relationships right now, I still hope that this message helps you to see, hey, how deep and real am I getting in my relationship? And if you're not, ask yourself, why not? What are you holding back? This game of life, it's not about holding back in any regard. Be real, be authentic, go deep. If you feel it, show it. Don't be waiting for somebody else to go first, and don't be tallying up, how much is this give and take. That is not quality of relationship, and therefore we're wasting our time. So I'm definitely going to check in with you guys now. If you have any questions or comments or feedback for me, I'd love to engage with you right here, right now, or at least say hi to me. I love getting to connect with you guys, and I so appreciate you joining me live. And if you guys haven't already, make sure that you do come and join us in the Limitless Potential Inner Circle Facebook community. If you want to meet beautiful like minds who are absolutely striving to reach, not settle, go for extraordinary, not ordinary. If you want to be surrounded by people like that, definitely click on the link above and definitely come and join us in that community. We'd love to have you. And I'm going to check in with you guys. So, who have I got? I've got Stephen and Shay and Jason and Hassani and Karen and Wayne and Judy and Rebecca and Tez and Cheryl and Gerardo and Jamie and Vince and Byron and Jared's here and Ozra. It's awesome. And Isaac. Nice to see you. And Jacob and Choppy and Laval and Steve and Jacob. Yeah, absolutely. No games. Throw the games out the window. We've got to raise our standards to authenticity and depth. And if you can't get authentic, if you can't go deep, if you can't be real, we don't want to be in that game, So definitely, I completely agree, Jacob. And Isaac, sorry if I mispronounced your name, but I'm loving that this resonated. And Laval, good morning to you. And, okay, Steve and Arby And Rebecca, I'm loving that this resonates. And Bassam and DB, you are so right. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I'm so grateful that this message resonates with you guys, because I really feel like this is a massive blind spot for so many of us, and it's so horrifying when I see these beautiful human beings get so caught up in the game that they miss the perception of, is this person actually somebody I even want to be in a relationship with? You know, they miss the connection and the depth for the game because they've made this person a measurement of their self-worth, you know, because they feel like they're kind of on the edge of being rejected, so they get obsessive. So really want us to all wake up to this, and I love that this resonated, DB. Thank you. And Jessica and Adrian and Gabrielle, awesome. Jason, mate, can you give some examples? Love it. Oh, what was I giving? Tell me what I can give you examples of, and I will definitely love to give you examples. I love the questions, and I always love giving examples. So sorry if I don't know when you wrote that, but I definitely want to, so drop below, let me know some examples of exactly what. And Beatrix, and loving that this is spot on for you, Jessica, and Sushint and DB, and it's stressful. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, like if you feel connected to somebody, it is super stressful to hold yourself back and just try and think, oh, do I send a message or do I do this? Like, life is meant to just be played full out. If you feel it, show it. If you want to give it, give it. You know, stop playing these games of back and forth. Just be real. You know, when you are real, you will absolutely attract the kind of people that you really want to be in relationship with. And when you're playing the game, you end up attracting people with low self-worth and people who have no real clear vision of what they want, and they're just kind of in it for the short term. Like, if that's not what you want, get out of that game and be a leader, you know, be a leader of authenticity. It is so refreshing when you meet somebody who's just real, you know, and they talk about what they're passionate about, what they're excited about, where they want to go. Like, that is the most attractive quality that you can do, that you can operate in, is your authenticity. So, love that. And Eduardo, loving that this is resonating. And Pedro and Sam, awesome. And Spoo, wow, I'm so happy watching from Nepal. Awesome, I love that. Thanks for being here. And hello to you, Sam. And Phil, well said. The behaviors we allow in our relationships will continue, raising your standards and looking both the support and challenge in the partnership. Boom, you are absolutely speaking my language there, Phil. And yes, absolutely. You know, love isn't just all support either. That's another topic that I'm always talking into. You know, we get caught up in this concept of what love is supposed to look like, and we think that it has no challenge and it's just all support. And that is so far from the truth. And it really, you know, jeopardizes what could be a beautiful relationship when people get caught up in that mentality and that mindset. So absolutely, Phil, I love that. Thanks for sharing. And Kelly and Sam, I'm loving that you're loving this. And Mario and Jake and Karen, thanks, so true. Loving that that's resonating for you, Karen. And Josie and Alexandria, yes. Give freely and fully. Love to you, beautiful spirit, and love to you. And I think that that is really the underlying message. Give freely, you know, feel it. Give authentically, be real, go the depths. Don't waste yourself on the surface and the game playing. And shift away from people who are game playing. You'll either inspire them to raise up to your standard in relationship, or you'll just get rid of them out of your life so that you can focus on the people who are willing to go deep and be authentic. I love that, Alexandria, and I always love you being here. And Gerard's here, and Leica, and so great. I'm loving that this is resonating, Leica, and Darren, and Victoria, and Jeffrey. I really love your dress and purple nail polish. Not bad earrings either, just the right amount of eyeliner. Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you for analyzing my outfit today. I'm happy with your compliments there. And Sam, love being real, not playing games, and vulnerability and authenticity pushes my edges. Absolutely. I love that this message is resonating with you as well, Sam. And I love the fact that I've gotten to meet you and see how absolutely real you are. So I appreciate the energy that you bring into the world. Thanks, Sam. And watching from Greece. I'm so sorry I can't say your name because I don't know what on earth it says in Greek. But I so appreciate you watching from Greece, one of my favorite places in the world, absolutely. And Soraya and Manu and Joel, awesome. And what have we got here? Yusuf, I heard we're talking about Mission Impossible. He said he sent... Okay, I'm not totally sure what you're saying there, but appreciate you being here. And Sam, can't hold back my love. It flows uncontrollably. And that's how it should be. You know, when we're operating authentically and we're not so concerned about everybody else's perception of us, and we're ultimately just, we know who we are and we want to be free to be all of who we are, to shine our light in whatever way that is, you know, and when we feel love, we give love, you know, that is living life. You know, when we feel like we've got to hold back all the time, or we're holding ourselves back all the time, it's like living in prison, right? So absolutely, I completely resonate with that, Sam. And Kim from North Carolina, I love it. And Herman's here. And Giannis, awesome, in Crete, awesome. Beautiful, beautiful part of the world. So guys, that really is my message for each and every one of you. I really hope that you answer this question authentically, and definitely, you know, are you being blinded by the chase and missing the connection? You know, remember everything that we've spoken about today. For all of you guys just joining me now with Fazia and Jason that I can see, definitely catch the recording, get a ton of value from today's message. I really dive in deep in terms of how we need to be operating in our relationships and not getting so caught up in the game and the chase, you know, that we miss the fact that we actually don't necessarily want to be in relationship with that person, but we waste all this time and energy and effort because we feel like we're on the borderline of being rejected, which makes us completely obsessed, and we make that person and their attention a measurement of our self-worth, which completely moves us in the wrong direction. And I'm absolutely hoping that today's message inspires us all to be more authentic, go deeper in our connections, in our relationships, stop holding back, just be real. You know, you're selling yourself short every time you imprison yourself with the walls of holding back, and definitely go on the journey of increasing your level of self-worth and value so that you can raise your standards and expect more of yourself, to go be more authentic, be more real, go deeper, and you'll inspire others to come up to that standard as well. And that is where our lives begin, and that's where our relationships begin. All else is a waste of our time and energy and effort, and I don't want any of us selling ourselves short of the love game. So just last little check-in. I've got Yusuf from Somalia, awesome, and Gilligil from Portugal. I love Portugal as well. And Julie's here, and Brian, thank you, and Jabs. Awesome, guys. Well, that is it from me today. As always, I am always sending you guys all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you, to wherever you are in the world today. I hope it's beautiful and amazing and authentic and real. And I hope that today's message has inspired you to go deeper in your connections and in your love, and definitely raising your standards so that we can get living and stop holding back. So guys, I'm sending you all of my love, and I can't wait to see you all tomorrow.